Welcome everybody. Welcome to another Tech Tuesday. This is Coach Kane as usual, and we'll be talking about some cool stuff. So like all meetings, I like to share this QR code along with the link I'm about to put in the chat. This is how I communicate to you guys, what we will be talking about, in these meetings. Any cool updates that come out, like today on KvCORE, or maybe what Frank is talking about on the Mondays, or maybe Renee, or any YouTube videos I post with trainings on social media, KvCORE, and whatnot. So if you are not already enrolled and not receiving those emails, you can click the link in the chat to enroll or scan the QR code. Or you can always email me. My email is right here on the screen, and it will also be at the end of this meeting. Or you can always feel free to reach out to Frank, Renee, or me for anyone's contact for support. Okay. I think most of you guys are at this point. All right, so these meetings are recorded. That is how I'm able to post them on YouTube. You can interrupt me at any time. You can raise your hand or unmute yourself. I'll have periods in the presentation where I give you guys time to, give me some comments, feedback, or ask questions. So please participate if you can. Everyone benefits as a result. There are no stupid questions. All questions welcome. Everyone's at different levels, and I love talking about this stuff. So yeah, make sure to participate to that. I also have polls on the screen from time to time. I did make a couple actually, just a fun icebreaker. Let's choose a good old favorite one here. So you should see a poll on your screen, hopefully. There's not many of us right now. But if you see this, go ahead and answer, and we'll see the results for that. Can't wait to see this. Apple or Android? So while you guys answer that, in last week's Tech Tuesday, we talked about uploading your contacts into KvCORE. Okay, we went back to the basics because we get new people all the time, and you might forget how to do it after a while. It's very important to know how to get your contacts in there, because if your contacts are not in KvCORE, there's no way for you to actually nurture those leads. So being able to put them on there is the first step in becoming a successful agent on KvCORE and utilizing your CRM and all the online digital tools you have at your disposal. Because we get this app for free through EXP, our brokerage, if you are an EXP agent. If you're not, well, that's cool, but you're missing out on a very, very cool piece of software, and it even got much better today with all the cool updates that just came out. So that's what we touched on last time. Today, we're going to be talking about creating a reusable market report campaign. So what I mean by that is I'm going to log on to KvCORE and show you guys how to utilize the email composer. KvCORE has this thing called the advanced editor. And through the advanced editor, you can create very nice looking emails. You can add buttons to it. You can add images, video links, style your text, and a bunch of cool stuff. And so we'll be utilizing that advanced editor to create an email that will send to that we'll design to send to a lot of people in our CRM. Okay, so since it's a market report, this would apply for both sellers and even buyers. And the cool thing about this is, since it's reusable, you can utilize the template we'll be building together today, and just change up the city and maybe resend this every month to give updates to the people you decide to send this to. Okay, so it's very minimal effort, and it's content you can keep sending out and getting people to go to your website, or at least engage with the leads in your database. Because at the end of the day, The best way, in my opinion, at least, to go about, being a successful agent is, providing value and not just bothering people all the time. Because sometimes it can feel that way. But as long as you are adding value, no one's going to say, no, I don't want to know what's going on in my city. No one's going to say, I absolutely hate market reports. I don't want to know what's going on. So I feel like this is a great way to connect with people in general who are homeowners or are people who are looking to become homeowners in specific areas, cities, neighborhoods, and XYZ. Okay, so that is today's topic. Let's see. All right. Okay. Oh, it looks like we got more people joining us. Okay, so I keep posting new videos on the YouTube channel. I get a lot of questions about KvCORE and other stuff, and I address a lot of those points on videos I post on YouTube, which is a great resource. At this point, there's people from other states with EXP who watch them and get a lot of value out of it. And I created these shorter videos in response to, some people who felt, and I do agree with it. Rewatching these hour-long Tech Tuesdays sometimes might not be ideal, so I made shorter versions for you guys to watch and get some value out of. And the link to the YouTube channel is, I'll post it in the chat very shortly here so that you guys can subscribe to that and keep up with the tutorials there if you want. Okay, so there's new posts on there, and I don't have another slide for this, but I did want to announce that KvCORE had a major upgrade a few hours ago at least. It might not be available in every state or maybe every brokerage, but now you're able to create a lot of social media assets and post directly on KvCORE and actually share it to Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and I believe LinkedIn. You can create assets, marketing assets such as even door hangers, flyers for properties, and it will do a lot of the work for you. I want to say, dare I say, even 75% of the work. It'll grab the MLS ID, grab the photos, create videos for you, even create a standalone website for that property for you. It's really cool. And I'll be doing a deep dive on it and maybe have next Tech Tuesday be all about that. So you don't want to miss it. It's going to be life-changing. KvCORE is awesome. But by the end of today's meeting, like I mentioned before, we're going to learn how to utilize the advanced editor to, in the future, know how to build customized, visually appealing emails. We'll learn how to schedule those emails we'll be building, because there might be an optimal time of the day, or you might want to build a lot of them at once and schedule them out to save on time. We'll also learn how to reuse the same template every time to make your life easier. That way you don't have to go through all of the work every time you want to send similar marketing material. Okay, and remember, if you have any questions, raise your hand, unmute yourself, participate. It's an open convo, and there's no basic questions at all. All questions welcome. Okay, so let's get right on with this tutorial. So I'm going to open up KvCORE here. So let's minimize all this stuff. All right. So when you open up KvCORE, you always see your dashboard like you do so right now. You'll get this menu on the left hand side of your screen. Sometimes if you don't see it, it might be because it's collapsed as such. I like to keep it open. That way you can clearly see what every menu item, where every menu item leads. So for us to create that market report template and access the advanced editor, we're going to actually go to the marketing tab right here, and then we'll continue over to the drop down that'll pop up and go to Smart Campaigns. Okay, so I'm going to click on that Smart Campaigns right here. Again, that's market reports on this, menu section on the left hand side, and then hover over marketing and then go to Smart Campaigns. So once you click on that, it's going to take you to your campaigns library. So this is where you can compose email templates that you'll then be able to reuse for different purposes or different marketing campaigns. So you'll notice that there's 3 tabs at the top right here. You get My Campaigns, KvCORE Library, and you also get the Templates tab. So we're going to be building a template because obviously we want to reuse this every time and hopefully send this out on a bi-weekly, weekly, or maybe monthly basis. So I'm going to go to the Templates tab and I'm going to click on here. And before we actually get to creating this, let me show you what the finished product looks like. So that way you kind of know what we're working on and you'll be able to see how we go about putting everything together. So I made a template for us here. I called it Market Report something. So I'm going to look it up here in the search bar, Market Report Mass Email Template. So if I click edit right here, it's going to show me that template that I've built. So this is what the email is going to look like. It's going to say, dear, whatever the lead's name who we're sending this to is, it'll automatically replace this section with the person's name. So you don't have to manually send this to everyone one by one. KvCORE will know and replace certain fields with the appropriate information. It'll have a nice paragraph telling them that you're a local realtor. And you're here to share this market report for whatever city you decide to make this of. And for this template right here, I actually built it for Los Angeles as arguably the most popular city in California. But you can always come back to this template and actually just change the city name, put another city, maybe Torrance, Long Beach, Lomita, you name it, and change the numbers around. So it'll break it down into, the details of the market report for those areas. You can put a median home price amount, number of homes sold, average days on market, total active listings. All of this is information you can find on the CRMLS or even on KvCORE if you go onto your website yourself and try to generate a market report, okay? And then we have a button here that people can click on and it will take people to that full report on your website. And the reason why it's important to have something like this is because you don't want people to just see this email and not take any action. You want people to, you want to be able to generate leads out of it. You want to be able to collect information through these emails you send out. So by having a button on there that takes them to a link on your website, not only do you show people that you do have, that resource for them to go to, they can see properties, they can evaluate their home from your website, they can read your blog articles, but you also get a chance to capture more information. So maybe you just have their email, obviously because you're sending them this material, but maybe you don't have a phone number to reach out to them. So by them actively going on your website and trying to see, more information, KvCORE is going to prompt them to, put in some of that missing information. And through that, you can obtain a phone number and then reach out to this person and talk about how the market is doing based on the market report you send them. And next thing you know, you're out there looking for a home for them. So, yeah. Then we have a section right here that talks about, what these results might mean for them. Okay, and I have 2 different paragraphs here, one for buyers and then one for sellers. Depending on, how you're feeling, you can address sellers only. Depending on how you're feeling, you can address buyers only, or even maybe depending on who you send this to, what group of people you're targeting, or you can just keep both here. So every time you send this based on the numbers you get, you can change the information on here. Okay, again, this is a template, so this is something you can always reuse, come back to every other week, every month, and change the numbers, the cities, and the paragraph down here. Okay, and then we also have photos. I can put photos on here. I have a photo of downtown, and then a closing section right here with a little paragraph telling people to reach out if they have any questions. They don't have to hesitate to reach out. And then we have a nice footer down here. Okay, so we're gonna build this together step by step. I'll show you how I did this. That way you can either copy exactly what I did here. By the way, if anyone wants this template, reach out to me. I'll send you this template so you can start utilizing it for yourself. Or you can just, follow along with me, see how I did this, and maybe design one that looks even better, okay? Because this is actually pretty simple based on all the tools you have at your disposal here. You can add some background effects, some moving parts, some video links, some thumbnails. You could do a lot of crazy things with the KvCORE editor. Okay. Isabel, you have a question. Is that a template for all in KvCORE? Isabel, I created this one, but I'm going to be showing you how I created this. Okay. There are templates, but they don't look like this. They're all text. So I want to show you guys how to make it look a little prettier and add more information and add more interactive elements to it so that people, you have a higher likelihood for people to click on it and take action. But yeah, good question. All right. Any other questions before we get started on building this, guys? You could text, raise your hand, unmute yourself. Okay, looks like we're doing good. All right. So I'm gonna close this little pop-up right here. So remember, to get to the screen, all I did is I went to the marketing tab and then I clicked on Smart Campaigns, and it's going to load up with all of your campaigns. We want to go to the templates section. There's going to be a button right here that says templates. So I'm going to click on that. And because this is going to be an email template, because I intend on, sending this out as a mass email to, people in my CRM, I'm going to click the green button on the right hand side right here that says add template. Okay, it'll give me more options. You can create an email template, a text template, task, call, and webhook. We're going to be focusing on an email template today, okay? Because that's what I intend on doing, is emailing this out. So if I click on email template, it's going to open up this email composer here that most of you guys have probably seen if you've ever tried to send an email using KvCORE. But this is the boring one. You don't have all of the tools that you could be using by just sticking to the basic editor. So right now we're looking at the basic editor. To access the advanced editor, there's actually a button right here at the top, the middle right-ish of the box. It'll say advanced editor in blue. That is what you want to click on in order to access those extra features, okay? So I'm going to click on that. It'll ask you if you're sure. By the way, if you already had information on here and then you decide to move to the advanced editor, it's going to wipe all of that work you did. So you want to make sure to go straight to the advanced editor because none of that information will carry over. And vice versa. If you make anything in the advanced editor and you decide, I kind of want to go back to the basic editor, all the photos, text, everything you did will be wiped out and you'll have to start from scratch. Okay, so just keep that in mind when doing this. So we're going to click on advanced editor right here. It's going to ask me if I'm sure. I'll put yes, and then it'll refresh. And then now we're in the advanced editor. Okay. I'm gonna make my face smaller here. All right. Once we're in the advanced editor, as we are right now, this is where we can start building that template, okay? So you'll notice that there's a drop down up here. Just make sure this says your name because that gives you ownership over this template. If you're in a team, like a registered team in the brokerage, you might see other names under this drop down. But you want to choose you, obviously, because you intend on using your own template. Okay. Unless you want to build this for someone in your team, then you just click on their name and they'll have access to it. But I think most of us are probably solo agents, so you'll see your name here anyway. Right below that, we have a section that says template name. Okay, so the template name is basically, as it says, what name do you want to put on this template? So this should be something, you know, ideally you would remember, because every time you want to reuse this template, you're going to look for it by typing in whatever template name you assign to it. So the one I put on, the template I just showed you, is called Market Report Mass Email Template. I'm actually going to put a dash here just to kind of separate them. And I'll put maybe Tech Tuesday in here. This is a copy of that. Okay. So every time I want to reutilize this template, and I'll show you guys how to, you know, reuse it once we're done building it, but you'll just be typing in whatever the name you put on here, and then it'll generate with that pre-made you know, template. And then down here, subject, if you've ever sent an email, I'm sure you know what a subject is. So this is the subject that people obviously will see when they receive your email. So I just put something like so in there. It says you know, you can input the month it is, the year it is, and then, you know, market report for whatever city it is. And then there's a nice little phrase here: the latest real estate insights you need to know. And I put some emojis on here. You don't have to put emojis, but I put them there. Cool. So if you want to do this monthly, you could keep this as a month. It could be April 2023 market report for Los Angeles. If you want to do it weekly, you could do, you know, you could type in the week or whatever, or just type out the date. It doesn't have to look like this. Okay. But it will retain the subject every time. So this will auto-populate, and all you would have to do is come in here and just change all that information as you see fit. So I'm just going to do April 2023 market report. And let's choose a different city. Let's do Beverly Hills, feeling fancy. So April 2023 market report for Beverly Hills. And then the latest real estate insights you need to know, with our emojis here. Okay, so now that we have our template name all set up, we have a subject figured out. Now we're gonna scroll down and actually start, you know, doing the work. We want to start building the actual template here that we'll be reusing. So before we do anything, I kind of want to show you all the essentials, what you need to know, you know, when you utilize this advanced editor. I won't get to all of the things that might be a little too advanced, only the basic necessities to start utilizing this. And then later on, as you go, you can learn all the, you know, extra features when you get comfortable with those. So up top right here, actually this button will take you to the basic editor, but remember, if you do that, you lose all this work here, so you don't want to click on that. And then right below we have 3 more buttons that says preview, send test, and then start from scratch. So the start from scratch button does what it says. It'll just delete everything so you can redo everything from scratch in case you you don't like what you built. The send test basically will send you whatever you put on here, whatever email you created. It'll send you yourself a test just so you see how it'll come out once it's sent out to you know, people. Okay, so I highly recommend you send yourself tests before you start sending it out to people. That way you can catch and see if you made any mistakes, any typos, something doesn't look right, or you know, so that's what this does. And then the preview just kind of shows you a preview of what the email would look like on a computer and what the email would look like on a phone. So when you click on preview, it kind of shows you a preview basically of what people should see. So I would utilize both of these as you're building it, just to kind of get a feel of what the recipients will see. Okay. All right. Looks like we got some more people joining. All right. Welcome, Mandy. Nice to see you. You're right on time. Okay. So that is what these three buttons up here do. So now let's actually get to the meat and potatoes, how to utilize the advanced editor. So you're going to see a lot of different buttons, and it says drop content blocks here. Do not be afraid. Even if it looks intimidating, I promise it's very, very easy to use. So the whole advanced editor works in a way where everything you want to do, you just kind of drag and drop it onto the actual email page, if you will. So let's say you wanted to add a piece of text. You would need to add, a text block. So everything works in terms of blocks. You're building an email out of different blocks. You can have a block for an image, a block for a button, a block for a divider to divide up your content. You can have a block that's for social media. So KvCORE will automatically populate your social media links. You can add a block of video, so that way it shows a preview of a video, or just some text. So let's say you want to start the email off with some text. Okay. All you would have to do is, if you pay attention here on the right hand side, you're going to have a content tab. And this content tab basically gives you all of the different content options you can drag onto your actual email. So if you wanted to start off with a text, which is what I've done here on my template, all I would need to do is just drag the text block onto this box we see right here, or onto the page, and then just let go. And now we've created a text block. And within that text block, I can click on here and just start typing away. Okay, so I'm gonna copy and paste the first piece of text I had on mine. And obviously this would be whatever you want on there, of course, or feel free to utilize this information I'm putting on here and use it for yourself too. Okay, or maybe change the text around a bit. Do we have a question?
Yeah, where did you get that?
I'm so sorry, I can't hear you. Oh, it's my volume. What did you say? I'm sorry.
How did you get the deer thing? Where did you get that from?
The what thing?
The writing. Where did you get it?
Oh, I just copied it from I have my iPad next to me yeah. I already wrote this on the side, but I'm just showing you how you would go about it. So yeah. So you would most likely just type it out, whatever you want to put on there. But I wrote this before the meeting, so I just to show you guys. Okay. Yes, but feel free to copy exactly what I'm doing here. This will be uploaded later on. And if you guys want to utilize the template I have for yourselves, that's totally fine. Just email me and I'll send this. I'll send you this template so that you can utilize it on your KvCORE. And all you would have to do is just go back to this, change the names and the city titles and all that, and then you have a template to go. Okay. So now in this email, now I have a block of text, saying hi to the person, and I kind of highlight what this email is all about. And yeah, as we've covered previously. So after that, maybe I want to spice it up with, a little image for them to look at, and, kind of break the boringness of just text. So all I would have to do is click on the content tab again. It's going to bring me back to all of the different content blocks. Remember, everything you see on here, you could just click on it, drag and drop it onto your page. We want to add a button. I could just click on the button, drag it onto my page right here, and now I have a button. I want to add an image. I can just click on the image and then drag it right under here, and now I can put an image on here. Maybe I don't like some of this stuff. Maybe I want to remove the button. I can click on the button element, and then there's a little trash icon. Just click on that, and yep, I'm sure. And there it goes. It's that simple. I want to add a video. I can just click on the video, drag it, and maybe I don't want to put it at the bottom. I want to put it right here. Just let it go right there. And now I have a video box through which I can add a link to, and it'll display the image for the video. It's really, really cool. Okay, and if we go back to content again, let me do one more. Maybe we want to add our social media links. Okay, so let me grab the social box and maybe drag that to the bottom. And just like that, I have my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn links already programmed into this. So the social links right here will be pulled from your My Profile section. So when you set up your KvCORE, if you go to the My Profile section where you can edit, your email signature, your About Me section, your MLS ID, and all that fun stuff, there's a section on there where you can where you can paste your YouTube link, your Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, all that cool stuff. So this is where that information is getting pulled from, okay? And you can even change how that looks on the right hand side here. But just to show you guys how creating this whole thing basically works. And as you can see, it's just a matter of dragging and dropping and just writing your text. So I'm gonna remove all these and we'll keep going with our template here. Do we have any questions so far about anything I just did?
So far, after I did the top line, nothing else stays. I can drag it, but it doesn't stay on the page.
I'm sorry, I didn't. So once you add you said once you add this, you want to drag this around. Is that what you're saying? Asking if you can do that?
I want to go to the next. I chose button, but button didn't move.
The button didn't pop up when you put it?
Yeah. You said squeeze it, drag it over, let go.
Yes.
Squeeze it, drag it, let go, nothing else.
So you press and hold, and then you should see, kind of on my screen right now, it'll show you, as long as you're dragging it, you'll see it. You want to drop it when it says drag it here. Do you see on my screen how it says, there's this line that says drag it here? You want to drop it right there, okay? So if you just leave it on the blank page, it won't know where to place it. So it needs to know if you're putting it below a piece of content, above a piece of content, to the right of it, or to the left of it. But if you notice, when I drag it onto the bottom of this element, it'll have a blue, a thick blue line.
Got it.
And yeah, there you go. So that's how you make it happen. So let me remove that. Cool. Any other questions? Anyone else having issues with anything I did so far? All right, looks like we're looking good so far. Okay, so once we have this piece of text, next up I have a little image of, I don't even know what you would call this, but I'm gonna go back to content here. So every time, by the way, every time you click on an element, it's going to give you more customization tools for that. So let's say, I wanted to change the color of this text. I could just click on this box, and then the actual text box right here, and then I can have more options about it here. I can change the text color, the color of the links, the line heights, the letter spacing, padding, and all that fun stuff. But once you're done with all that, you can click on content again, and it'll take you back to all the different content blocks you can drag and drop there. So next up, I'm gonna drag an image onto the email. So I'm gonna click on here, and click and hold, and I'm gonna drag it right below this text box. And again, it will highlight and say drag it here with this thick blue line. Okay, so then I know I can let go. And once I do, now I have my image element over here. So obviously it won't know what image you're trying to put on there magically. You would need to tell it what image you want to display on this email. So right after you drag that image box onto the email, you'll get a button that says browse. Okay, so when you click on that button, it will open up a file manager, and you can select a specific file on here that you've uploaded previously. Or if you don't have anything and you have something on your computer you would want to upload into this email, you could just click the upload button and actually find an image to put on there. But if you don't have one and you just want to find one on the fly, you do have an option, this black button right here that says search free photos. Okay, so if you click on that, you get this search bar right here, through which you get the search bar right here through which you can type in, a keyword for whatever type of image you want to put on there. So let me type in, actually, let me type in Beverly Hills, and then search. Maybe it'll show me stuff. Yeah, there we go. So we get some results. So let's say I wanted to use this image, for instance. I would just click import on it. When you hover over it, it'll give you a blue import button. And obviously you can scroll and find something better, but for the sake of this example, let's actually use this photo. It looks pretty, oh no, this one's good. I'm gonna use this one. So I'll click import. It'll load up for a few seconds. And then it should be the first image that you see on your file manager. So there's that image I want to use. Okay, so all I would need to do is click insert, the blue button that says insert. So once I click on that, now it's just gonna populate into my email. Okay, and this photo is absolutely free, and you saw how easy it was for me to just look for it and just put it on my email. Okay, so that's how you insert images. And remember, if you want to make edits to any of the elements, all you have to do is just click on it. So remember, if I wanted to change this text in here and customize it, I could just click on the text box, and then on the right hand side, I'll get more options in terms of, maybe the text color. I can move this around and change it. Maybe we want red text for some reason. Maybe I want the line height to be, much bigger or smaller. I can put letter spacing, customize this how you would want it, add some padding maybe. And then maybe I want to customize the image as well. You can just click on the image. On the right hand side, it'll give you more options. You can switch off auto width and actually change the width of the image yourself, or you could keep it at automatic, so KvCORE decides what looks best. Okay, and you can add some actions to some of these elements. So if I scroll here, I can choose a specific action to happen when people click on this image. So right now nothing is set, but let's say I wanted people to get taken to a specific link, a website on my website, or maybe a YouTube video. I could just put in the URL, the link to that resource, and then KvCORE will know to take them there once they click on the image, which is really cool. I can also click on this drop down right here and select more options. I can make it so that it starts composing an email, or people can, make a call to me when they click on this image. It'll prompt them to, call me, or maybe send me a text message. So that's something really cool you could do through here. Okay. And then when you're done with all that, you can always click on the content tab to get taken back to all of the content blocks you can add to your email. So let me change my text back to a good color. So yeah, we'll keep it at black. There we go. And let's say I want to make my image a little smaller. So I'm going to disable the auto width, and I'll just play around with this, make it just a tiny bit smaller. And now that I'm done with that, maybe I want to add some more piece of text. So we'll go back to the content, and now I'm just going to click and hold on the text block and just drag it right under my image. And just like that, I can type in some new content right here. Okay, so I already have something typed out. So let me go ahead and copy that real quick. And then we're going to paste that in here. And there we go. So in this short piece of text, or paragraph, if you will, I give people stats on what's going on in the market in that specific city I want to talk about. So it'll have the median home price, homes sold, average days on market, total active listings. You don't have to have all of these, or maybe you can add even more if you wanted to. Okay, but this is the what I have on there. And so if you want to style this text also, you'll notice this box right here. It might be minimized sometimes, it might not, but you can always click on this and it'll open up this text editor through which you can change the fonts, the size of the text. You can make it bold, italics, and a whole bunch of other useful things. So maybe I want to center this heading right here. I would just highlight it just like you would in a Word document and just click on the align center. And maybe I want to make it bold. It's already bold. And maybe underline it. And let's change the Los Angeles to Beverly Hills, because that's what I seem to be doing. So Beverly Hills, it'll say Beverly Hills real estate market highlights. And we can put some text here for median home price. It's probably $50 million over there. So we'll do 50, 50 million. And then just, type in the correct information. Obviously that's not the case, but make sure to do the research, populate all this information. Just do 123. We'll do 30 days on average. Total active listings, we'll do maybe 23 right now in Beverly Hills. Okay, so there goes another piece of text again in the email that you can style however you like. And then next up, do we have any questions so far? Is everyone following? Remember, you can raise your hand, interrupt me at any time. All right. I actually never ended the poll. It looks like people prefer Apple devices over Android devices. I love to see that. But I don't like how Androids are so close. Move to iOS, guys. The grass is greener on that side. Okay, so now that I've provided people with some market highlights, maybe I want to give them an option to see more information as opposed to only seeing this. Okay, so I just tease some of these metrics, but maybe I want to give people an option to view the entire report on my website. Okay, and the best way to do that, in my opinion, would be to have maybe a button on there, or maybe even a link. A button would look much nicer. So we're gonna go back to the content tab right here. I'm gonna click on this. We're gonna find the button right here. And again, just like all the other piece of text, I'm going to click and hold, drag it right below this piece of text, and then we'll have a button right here. Okay. And then you can give this button, a name. And on mine, I have called it, so click here to see full report. Okay, so just like that, you can name this button anything you want, but here people will be able to see some of the information about this, the market in this area, and they can click this button to see the full report for that area. Okay, so when you click on any element, remember, you can customize it further. So the button is no exception. If I was to click on the box with the button on the right hand side, I'll be able to add all of that extra information it would need. So in the URL bar right here, all I would need to do is paste the link to the full market report to this location. And the way you would do that is you can either do it on your website, or you can I'm gonna skip this part and we'll add this at the end, because there's a way to actually generate that report on your KvCORE, one of the KvCORE sections right here on the left hand side. Okay, so but I don't want to close this window just yet, but because it's a template, you can always open this and edit it. But all in all, you would just paste the link to that market report in here to give the functionality to this button to take people to that market report. Okay, or even this could have even been maybe a YouTube video link where you're talking about the state of the market in that area. Okay, it could be a podcast, it could be a link to your Facebook where you have a video about it, or your Instagram. So the sky's the limit, and you can put whatever you want here. Okay, but we're gonna leave it like this for now. Okay, and the next step, I have a divider. Okay, I clicked on content to get back here. So maybe I want to divide things up. I'm gonna click and hold on the divider, drag it under this button, and I get this little line to break it up a little bit. And then I want to add more text, so I'll drag another text column right here. And I have a little section talking about how this report and what the numbers and how those numbers might affect them, you know, whether they're a buyer or a seller. So I'm going to paste that piece of text in here. So it just says, what does this mean for you? And there's a buyer section, and then there's a seller section. You can keep both on there, or you can have one or the other, or you can just remove, you know, buyer and seller altogether and just merge the paragraphs to talk about, you know, both sides. Okay. So again, just like I did at the top, I'm going to center this. I'm going to highlight it, open up my, you know, text editor, and click the center text align. I'll underline it. And we're going to close this again, or minimize it. And then next up, just like we did up top, I'm going to grab another photo. So I'm going to click on the content. We're going to drag image right under this portion. And then we're going to add one more image here, just like we did before. And you can utilize this system to actually send people, you know, flyers. If you have any flyers you want to send out to people, all you would have to do is just open up this advanced editor and just put an image block, put the image of your flyer, and then there you go. You have a ready-made flyer ready to send to a lot of people at once. And you can add some text to it. You can add some buttons to it. It's a very, very, you know, versatile, powerful tool. So let's say I wanted to add, you know, insert this photo of downtown. I could just click on that. And here we have another photo. Okay, I think I have a question here, Alton. My image is empty. So when you add an image block, Alton, you should get a button that says, let me do it again so you can see. So when I add an image, I'm going to click on this image, drag it under here. You're going to get something that looks like this. It'll say drop your file here. So all you need to do is click on the browse. It'll open this window through which you can select, you know, whatever image you want to add on there. If you don't have an image here, you can upload one from your computer. If you don't have any in your computer, you can always click on the search free photos button here. And then it'll give you a search bar through which you can type whatever it is you're looking for. So if you want to do maybe add a photo of a cat, maybe you could just type cat in here, enter, or click the little magnifying glass, and then you could just select any photo you see here. I'm going to click import on this one. Ideally, you would want to have your own image, you know, something that relates to the email you're sending, but you can always utilize this tool to find maybe something great sometimes. But then, yeah, the image will populate here, and you could just click insert, and then now you'll have that image onto your email very easily. Okay. Hopefully that answered your question, Alton. All right, so I'm gonna get rid of this. And we're gonna close this, put it in the trash. Awesome. So yeah, now we have, so far this is what our email is looking like. We have, you know, some text up here, we have images, we have a portion talking about the median home price and all of the other metrics. We have a button right here that people can click on to see the full report, okay? And we're gonna link this button very soon. We have another piece of text that they can read and learn more about what these metrics might mean for them. Another photo, and then last but not least, there's a the very last paragraph I have on here is this right here. I'm about to copy over. looks like it got cut off. So whether you're buying or selling, etc., etc. There we go. And then this basically closes out the email. It has, my footer. It says best regards. You could put your name, your title, company, your information. You don't have to add this portion here if you already have an email signature on KvCORE, which most of us will by default. So you can remove that portion. And yeah, on here, you can also edit this piece of text. This just says if people know someone that might be interested in owning or, selling their property, to reach out to you basically. Okay. And then, yeah, we've built a full marketing email template that we can reuse every time we want to, send information about a specific market. Okay, so once everything is said and done, you have your photos, your information, your buttons, all the piece of text you want on there. All you would need to do is click Add Template. Okay, and remember the name you put on this template. So the name I set is up here. It'll say Market Report dash Mass Email Template. Okay, this is how you'll find this every time you want to send this out. So I'm gonna click Add Template down here. And then it'll say saved successfully at the bottom right down here to let you know it's been saved. And then now let's say we want to send this email out. Okay, all you would need to do is go to the marketing tab right here, and then you can go to the scheduled mass emails. If you want to schedule this, there's two ways to send these emails. You could go to the scheduled mass emails. I can click Get Started here. I can click on Schedule Email. Okay, so I'll click on this green button at the top right. And then on here and every other email place you'll see on KvCORE, you'll get a template field right here. This is where you can type in the name of your template so that KvCORE can auto-populate all that information. So if I click on this field right here, there it is already. Market Report Mass Email Template. If it doesn't pop up for you right off the bat, you can actually type it out and then it will be one of the items on the drop down. You just click on it, and then just like so, KvCORE is going to load all of that information for you. And you can keep doing this over and over and over and over again. And every time you're about to send something like this, you don't have to type the whole thing out and add all the images again. All you would have to do is go through the email, change up, the name of the city. So maybe we're not doing Beverly Hills this month. Maybe we're doing Torrance. I could just change this to Torrance, change out all the numbers to reflect, what the Torrance market is looking like. Come in here and then change the link to the Torrance market report. And then, yeah, change all the information that needs to be changed. And then all you would have to do at that point is just select who this is being sent to. So you have multiple options as far as, the recipients for this email. You can do contacts that match a specific filter. We talked about filters before. If you don't know what filters are and how to utilize them, there is a video about it on the YouTube channel. Or you could do hashtags. Those are a little more popular and more, easier to use. So if you have a hashtag on your CRM for maybe sphere of influence, a hashtag for buyers, sellers, you can click on the hashtag button right here to let KvCORE know that's who you intend to send it to. And then under the hashtag field, all you would have to type is the name of that hashtag. So let's say I wanted to send this to my sphere of influence and I have a hashtag for those people. I would just type sphere here and there it is, sphere. Okay, but your hashtag might be named differently. So you would just type in the name for that hashtag here. Or you can also send with contacts with a specific status. So KvCORE can group people under different statuses: sphere of influence, prospect, new lead, active leads, clients, contract, and closed. Okay, so you can do it that way too. And then on the right hand side, you can choose when this email will be sent out. So I can do today, or I can choose any calendar days right here. We could do June 2023 on the 15th. And then I can choose a time that, this email will be sent. I could do 5 a.m. if I wanted to. And then when everything is said and done, I can click the schedule button down here, and it will schedule this email to be sent on that date and time. Okay, and notice how it also retained my subject. Remember to change this to, instead of Beverly Hills here, we could just do Torrance. And then we could just click on schedule, and then it'll be sent out. Okay, so I'm gonna cancel this because this is not a real email I'm sending out right now. But this just kind of shows you how you can always reutilize this template, because we can go back here again, click schedule email, and then find our template again. It will populate with that work we just did, and all I would need to do is just change the name of the city again. This time we could do, I don't know, Long Beach. You could type that in here, go through the email, change up, everywhere it says the city you put on there originally, change up the numbers, change out the link to the actual market report, and you can schedule that email and send it to whoever you want to send it to very, very easily. Okay, so that is the beauty of templates. You do them once, and you can keep reusing that information to stay engaged with the contacts in your CRM. So I'm going to close this, and I'm going to show you really quickly how to get the link to that market report. Okay, because that is one of the buttons on the template we just made. So to get a link to the market report, actually there's a way in the playbooks, but I believe now there's also a way to do it somewhere here. Let's see, under the lead engine tab right here. Okay, we're gonna click on lead engine, and then you're gonna go to squeeze page. You'll just choose your domain in this field, click start building, and then up here you'll notice market report. Okay, all you would need to do is click market report, put the area for which you want to create a market report for. Let's do Beverly Hills again. Once you type it in, it'll give you a drop down and you can choose. I'm going to choose the city of Beverly Hills, and then just generate the link. And just like that, this is the link we're looking for. So this link I can copy to my clipboard and actually paste it on the new tab. And you'll see it's going to take us to a market report for the city of Beverly Hills. Okay, if it would load up here. And there we go. So my website will load, and hopefully we should see that market report right now. You could do these as many times as you want, an infinite amount of times, and just send this out as often you would like. So there it is, market report for the city of Beverly Hills, and they get all of that extra information. Okay, they see listings on there, average sold, average home price, average homes for sale. Wow, there's actually much more than I thought. But yeah, that link is what you would basically paste into the button on the template. Okay, so I showed you one way to send this out as a mass email. Another way you could do this is just go to your Smart CRM tab, and you can select who you want to send this to if you have specific people in mind. So let's say I wanted to, I'm just going to choose random people here. Nancy, Rosemary, Brad, and Jennifer. Okay, I selected all those people, and I could go all the way back up, and I could just click on the mass email button up here. Okay, and if I click on that, it'll open this little window, and you'll notice again it'll say template. All I would need to do is just click on this drop down, find my template or type it in, click on the name, and check this out. It will populate with that template we just did, so I don't have to do any other work again. And we can program this button now by clicking on it and pasting that URL we just created for the market report, and then that's done. Now anyone who clicks on this button will be taken to that full market report, and all I would need to do is click send, and just like that I've just sent out this market report in under 15 seconds. Okay, and make sure to change all the appropriate information, of course. But this is another way to send out a mass email. Okay, so I'm going to close that. Do we have any questions on anything I did so far? Okay, looks like we're experts at creating market reports. Of course, if you got lost, I will upload a video of this so you can rewatch at your own pace. And if you ever have any questions, you can always reach out to me so we can get this set up for you. And if you want to utilize my template and just start using that one, you can email me, call, text, and then I can send you that text so you can just paste it onto your KvCORE and start utilizing that. Okay, but that is pretty much what I wanted to talk about today. And remember, KvCORE has just had a huge update with a lot of social media features, which I think I'm going to talk about next Tech Tuesday. So if you need some help with some social media posts, or you never know what to make or how to make social media posts, that's going to be a lot of help. So I invite you to the next meeting so you can attend that and get some knowledge. Okay, so I want to give it one more time. Any questions, anyone? Awesome. Okay, I think we're looking good. Yeah, thank you guys so much for sticking with me for another Tech Tuesday, and look forward to seeing you in the next one, and you enjoy the rest of your night.